I'm Dr. Uche, a practicing physician who's been coaching others to write and publish their biographies since 2013. The first autobiographies I brought to publication were for my dad and granddad, and those took more than 5 years and lots of mistakes. On this channel, I will show you the tools I use to perfect the process so that you can have your biography done in 6 months or less without the delays and mistakes. Remember to subscribe and share with your friends. Let's dig in. Have you ever bothered to ask your dad or your mom this question? There's actually a lot to learn from it, not just for your journey, but also in knowing when something is worthwhile or not, knowing the red flags. Now, things can vary generation to generation. Obviously, our world is changing, so it's not how things are now that they were 30 years ago, but there's still much to learn about this. And this is something else you should ask and you could bring out in writing a biography or memoir for an older relative. What am I talking about? Stay tuned. What do you look for in choosing a life partner? Wow, that's a tough one, okay? And nobody is perfect, but I think that our parents who have been married for 50, 60 years are good people to learn this from, right? I hope you agree. Those who have been married for longer can teach us, right? What did they do right? And even if things were not so great at the beginning, what did they work on to get to a point of equilibrium, a point where everybody is at peace and accepting of the other and they're able to forge ahead? So I think that asking your older relative how they chose a life partner, the lessons learned along the way can actually make not just for great reading in their story, but also in your story. And also, these are lessons we can extrapolate to day life as far as not just romantic relationships, but also friendships and even other decisions that could have to do with interacting with others in the workplace, interacting with people in life generally. So I want you to take some time to really prod and poke and use open-ended questions, and I hope you ask for honest, truthful information. What did you learn? What did you find useful in choosing a life partner? What was important to you? What was a deal breaker? If there was a relationship that didn't work out, what were the red flags that you missed in retrospect that if you had to go back, you should have paid attention to those? What did you consider important? For example, my dad would always tell us that even though he is somebody who studied and traveled all over the world, in choosing a life partner, he wanted somebody from a similar culture. So he went to school in Scotland at the time before he got married, but he decided he did not want to marry somebody Scottish, even though there was such an opportunity and there were people, because he wanted somebody of a similar background. And that was important to him. That's not to say that it's a right or wrong, but it was something that he wanted, he desired, he did not want to go out of his culture. And for some other people, it may not be a deal breaker now. He has pros and cons. He has arguments for and against that line of thought, but it worked for him. It worked for him. He and my mother were married as of the time of her passing for in excess of 40 years. So ask them the deal breakers, the things that were important, and any mistakes you learned from, because these are things that you can put in a story. It adds flesh It adds vulnerability, and I think I've talked about vulnerability before, about us owning up about things we did right, things we could have done better, things that shaped us as we really fully became who we respectively all become, right? So that is important to include and to tease out and to describe as you write that biography or memoir for an older relative. Did that resonate with you? Is this something you've asked ever, or something you know about from your parents talking about it? Let us know in the comments. I'll see you in my next video.